Hello everybody. This is just a 45-minute Vinyasa flow practice to get into all the little nooks and crannies that can often feel a little tight from sitting or living just your life. Take a few moments here in Tadasana to establish your breath, breathing in and expanding the collarbones, the rib cage, and then the abdomen, and exhaling to empty the belly, then the chest, and then the collarbones. Follow an inhale to reach the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana, and then bring the hands as you exhale down through the midline to the heart. Interlace the hands behind you. Interlace and lift the chest, broadening the front of the collarbones, sliding the knuckles down the backs of the thighs. Exhale, fold over your legs, stretch the arms up and overhead. Inhaling, the fingertips caress the floor and the spine elongates, soft bend in the knees. And exhaling, step back into plank pose to lower the knees in table. Inhale, open the chest, cow spine. Exhale, press into the knees and the thumbs to round the back, cat spine. So here we're just deconstructing Surya Namaskar. A few more times, inhaling to open the chest, broadening the throat, and exhaling, lift the lower abdomen, round the back, empty the breath from bottom to top. Inhale again, breathing in from top to bottom, open. And exhale, keeping the hinge in your hips, downward facing dog. Now the heels can touch the floor, move towards the floor, as long as the spine is elongated. 3 breaths here, letting the front of your pelvis tip forward towards your toes and allowing the space between your shoulder blades to descend towards your heart. Triceps wrap back. And again, the breath fills from the top of the chest to the bottom of the belly, and the exhale empties from the bottom of the belly to the top of the chest. Use an inhale to look forward, and exhale to step or hop forward. Breathe in, lengthen, and exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Grounding through the corners of the feet, reach out, inhale, rise up, arms overhead. Exhale, hands through the brow to the heart. Inhale again, interlace the fingers behind your sacrum, stretch the knuckles down as the chest rises up, gaze up. Exhale, pull the hip crease back to fold. Little bend into the knees, abdomen to thighs, arms overhead. Inhale, fingertips or palms to the floor, draw the chest forward. Exhale, step back to plank and then lower the knees under the hips. Inhale, arch the back, take the gaze up. Exhale, round the back, lift the lower belly, head down. Again, inhale into your cow spine. Exhale into cat spine. And a slight variation here. Inhale, lift the knees, broaden the chest, but keep the lower belly drawn in. Exhale, in plank pose, pressing firmly through the thumbs. Inhale, broaden the sides, and exhale, down dog. So just adding in that little piece, finding stability in plank. 3 breaths here, smoothly in and smoothly out, establishing that breath rhythm that brings this into a more meditative state. Notice the subtle fluctuations as your body settles into alignment. Now inhale, lift the heels, look forward. Exhale, step or hop to the front of the mat. Fold over the legs. Inhale, reach out and rise. Sturdy legs, strong reach to the arms. Exhale, hands to the center of the heart. Again, interlace the fingers behind, stretch the arms back and lift the center of the chest up, low ribs down. Exhale, fold Uttanasana with the arms overhead. Inhale, release fingertips or palms to the floor by the feet, chest forward. And exhale, step back to plank. Lower the knees. One more. Inhale, cow spine, opening the front body. Exhale, cat spine, opening the back of the body. Inhale, lift the thighs, take the chest forward, and exhale, bend the elbows, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower the knees, lower the pubic bone, lift the heart into Cobra, Bhujangasana. And exhale, keeping the neck long, tuck the toes, hips up and back to downward facing, Adho Mukha Svanasana. There's a slight variation from the first to the second to the third, just building towards Surya Namaskar A. Spread the toes, feel the ball mounds of the feet alive and wide. Lift through the inner arches of the feet and press down through the inner heels. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or hop, fold over the legs. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, palms to the heart, Samasthiti. Inhale, interlace the fingers, lean back, upper back bend. Exhale, fold, deepening the hip crease, tilting the front of the pelvis forward. Inhale, hands or fingertips down, chest forward, Ardha. Exhale, step back, plank. Inhale, outer shoulders back, broad chest. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. This time lower the knees, point the toes, lift the heart, then lift the thighs into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. And then drop the knees, tuck the toes, hips up and back into downward facing. So this is a really beautiful modification. If you find that you tend to crank your shoulders to get into up dog, just that subtle connection of the knees to the floor before you open your chest will prevent, or it will allow a little bit more stability as you move into the back bend. 3 breaths. Relax your tongue and your jaw, your nasal passages. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, empty the breath and step or float to the front, folding over the legs. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, rise up, palms touch. Exhale, Samasthiti. One more round. Interweave the fingers, lift the heart, scoop it up, and exhale, fold. Arms up and overhead, keeping the element of back bend in your fold. Inhale, fingertips or palms down, gaze forward. Exhale, step or float back, landing with bent elbows, Chaturanga. Inhale, rolling over the toes, upward facing dog. Exhale, rolling back over the toes, downward facing dog. So now you have a little bit of awareness and the subtle difference as we move from more stability to less stability in this warming flow. If you'd like to pause and take a couple more rounds here, I think we'll do one more, just to establish what is correct for you today. Do so. Inhale, lift the heels. Exhale, step or float to the front, fold over the legs. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach up, little baby back bend. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale, interlace the fingers, lean back, take the thumbs off the thighs. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, fingers down, chest forward, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, step or hop, Chaturanga Dandasana, navel in. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana, down dog. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Exhale, bend the knees, empty the breath, hop forward, landing lightly, fold over the legs. Inhale, rise up, Urdhva Hastasana, gaze up, Exhale, Samasthiti, hands to the heart. Take a moment here. Now you can continue 2 or 3 more rounds of Surya Namaskar, or take a pause to play with your handstands. I'm taking my hands a little bit wider than my inner shoulders, stretching one leg up until it stacks over my hips, and then letting the other leg follow. Now 2 ways to exit. You can exit through a back bend if you feel sturdy and secure, or you can cartwheel out to the side. Instructions for that are for another day, but just let this be playful. Focus on your breathing, the lift of your inner thighs, or the lift of your inner hip crease, and the reach through your legs, as if you are pressing into something solid. Keep your shoulders over past your wrist, so as not to hyperextend your shoulder. You can take a little break here to pay attention to the shoulders, opening up the back of the heart in eagle arms. Just to remember your breath. Sometimes it's easy to lose our breath as we play with these inversions. And one more option here is to frog jump, or not frog jump, to pike up. So lift your hips, take your shoulders past your wrists, bend your knees, and then try to bring your heels to your seat as you lift the legs off the floor. Just a few times. If you find your body stacking, stretch the legs up, try to touch the toes to the ceiling, and then hinge from the hip to come back down. So warm the heart up, warm the body up. And coming to the front of the mat again, hands to heart center, standing firm and graciously in your intention. Feel the blood rushing through your body, the beat of your heart, flow of your breath. And now stepping out to the left, bring the hands to the hips. Start to Padottanasana stance, and then turn the right heel in, toes forward, setting up for Trikonasana. Uttita Trikonasana, stretch the right arm towards the front of your mat. Hold the big toe or fingertips to a block, and take the left arm straight up and over the left shoulder, creating one long vertical line, wrist to wrist, one long horizontal line from the tailbone to the crown, and lifting through the inner thighs. Try to get your inner thighs to widen away from each other, even as your shin bones rotate towards each other. Now to get this into a side body stretch, take the left arm up and overhead, lift your spine towards the left side of your ribs and waist. Breathe deeply into the left kidney and let that blossom open. Keep the pressure through your right big toe knuckle. Inhale, take the left arm up again, rise to stand, and pivot the toes, face the opposite direction. Lift the side body, reach towards the back of your mat now, and hold the left big toe with the left peace fingers. Right arm up and over, again creating that vertical line. Just 5 breaths here, drawing the skin of the inner ankles and thighs up towards the pubic bone, externally, slightly externally rotating the thighs and internally rotating the shins. Okay. Navel back. Left fingertips to the mat, right arm up and over. Breathe into the right side. Let it arch a little bit. And then inhale, you'll bring the right arm up and follow that to stand again with the feet parallel. Good. Pairita Trikonasana. Turn the toes like warrior one stance, but keep the right leg straight. Bring the left hand to the outer edge or inner edge of your right foot. Press down through the corners of both feet and the corners of the left palm to reach the right arm up. Lift the left hip crease up into the body and draw the outer right hip seat area back. Little back bend behind the chest. Inhale, rise up, pivot the toes to face the back of the mat, and repeat on the second side. 3 to 5 breaths. Right hand inside or outside the left foot. Let them make contact. Vertical line wrist to wrist. Thighs wide, shins in. Draw the chest out of the navel. Smooth breath fills the collarbones down to the belly. And exhale, empties from the belly to the collarbones. And inhale, rise up. Pivot the feet again, parallel. And turn the heels in, toes out for goddess squats. You can take Gyan or Chin Mudra here, placing the backs of the hands onto the knees. Sit down as you widen the inner thighs and press the heels towards the side of your mat you can see. An option to side bend here, bringing the right elbow to the right thigh, stretching the left arm up and over, moving the left ear towards the left bicep, and vice versa. Inhale, rise up and reverse. Left elbow lightly touches the left thigh, right arm up and over. The ear and the right arm move towards each other. Avoid using your toes to grip the mat. Inhale, rise up, straighten the legs, straighten the arms to the sky, and then step again to the front of your mat. Take a moment's pause. And stepping out again to the left. Turn the right toes to face the front of your mat, bending the right knee, setting up for Parshvakonasana, Utthita Parshvakonasana, side angle. Allow the right side body right shoulder to nestle down inside the right knee. Right hand to the floor inside the foot or to a block inside the foot. Left arm up and over, bringing the ear towards the bicep. Gaze is at the left thumb. Sit the hips down a little bit deeper, drawing the lower abdomen back at the end of each exhale. Option to bind here, stretching the left arm up and then dragging the forearm behind the middle back to hold onto the inner right thigh. You can take the right shoulder underneath the right knee crease and reach around for the bind, holding fingertips or holding the left wrist with the right hand. Option to straighten the right leg towards Trikonasana stance or triangle stance. Take the left shoulder and left side ribs back, encouraging an element of back bending in the shape. Now to rise, open the arms, rebend the right knee, lift up warrior two, and then turn the toes to face the opposite direction, setting up for the second side. Bend the left knee, reach the left arm way out, and then bring the hand down inside the left foot. Right arm up and over, pressing firmly through the outer right heel as you reach through the right arm to create a long diagonal line. Now again, there is the option to bind here. Keep your neck long, stretch the right arm up, and then let the back of the hand and forearm slide behind your middle rib cage until the fingertips nestle into the inner left thigh. If you're binding fully, bring the left shoulder underneath the left knee crease. Option to hold the right wrist with the left hand or just fingertips. Keep the knee bent or straighten the leg into that familiar triangle shape. Breathing smoothly. Rebend the left knee, rise up, parallel the feet, and then step to the front of your mat. Now stepping out to the right, turn the right toes to face the back of your mat, lower the left knee down into a square lunge, 2 90-degree angles. Reach the right elbow up and then rotate from the waist until that left shoulder or arm comes outside the right knee. Guide the left forearm underneath your right thigh. An option to take full bind here. Now the knee can stay down, or you can tuck the left toes, press through the heel to lift the thigh. Keep pressing the left arm and the right thigh together to make a seal, and then move the right collarbone out of the right ribs. Left hip crease draws up and into the waist. To exit the pose after 3 to 5 breaths, lower the left knee, open the arms like you're hugging the wall, and then de-rotate. Right wrist to the right knee, left arm reaches back. Little space. Hands to the heart, inhale. Lift the back knee, pivot the feet for the other side. The right knee comes down, creating your square lunge. Press the right shin towards the left heel and vice versa. Right arm up and then rotate from the waist, feeling the organs doing the work here. Guide that right forearm underneath the left thigh, left arm up, drag it behind the back. You may find that your hands come in front of that right hip crease. If so, press them into the hip crease to keep the hip crease from dropping. Option to lift the right knee from the floor, pressing through the heel. Move the back of the ribs into the front of the ribs, open the chest. And then exhaling, lower the right knee down, reestablishing your square lunge. Inhale, open the arms, releasing the bind. Exhale, rise up, de-rotate, open the chest. And then inhale, hands to the heart in prayer. Lift the back knee, parallel the feet. And setting up for Sarta Padottanasana, hands to the waist. Heels slightly out, toes slightly in. Bring the hands down so that the heels of the hands and the heels of the feet are in line with each other. Shoulders distance apart between the palms. And then press the mat down and back with your palms, grounding the thumbs and the index fingers. Thighs wide, shins in. If you have a practice of headstand, you may choose to straddle the legs up here, weight in the top of your head, shoulders up the back, long neck. The lift of your shoulder blades encourages stability, not just collapsing in your neck, but stability and reach up through the legs. Try to kick through the ceiling, like you're touching the sky. If you're still in Prasarita Padottanasana, good news, it's also an inversion. If you are in your headstand, you may choose to straddle the legs to come out, flex the ankles, and as the feet lower to the floor, try to get your heels to touch before your toes. Heels slightly out, toes in, lengthen your spine, hands to the waist, rise up. Good. Setting your stance again, interlace the fingers behind your back. This should be familiar. And as you bow, take the arms up, maybe over the head, letting the pinky fingers drop towards the floor. Chin draws gently into the throat. Front of the pelvis drops towards the mat. Steady, even breaths, relaxing the toes, activating the center of the feet, the arches of the feet. Inhale, release the fingertips, and then take the arms underneath the legs towards the opposite side of the mat as your toes are pointing. Press the palms down, head comes to the floor. If the head comes to the floor, option to take another headstand. This is a version of Nirlamba Shirshasana, even though the hands are on the floor. Okay, the arms are extended. This is one of the 7 headstands in the Ashtanga Vinyasa methodology, if you're familiar. Make sure that you're pressing down through the palms and reaching out through the fingertips, reaching up through the legs, and keeping energy moving away from your head. Straddle the legs back down. Hands to the ankles, fold. Maybe your nose touches the floor, maybe your head, maybe your chin tucks to your chest and the back of your head touches the floor. These are just fun things. They're not the aim of the shape. Fingertips down, lengthen your spine halfway, little smile. And then hands to the waist, rise up again. And stepping to the front of the mat, you may hop if you like. Taking a moment. Bringing the hands into reverse prayer, reverse Anjali up the back, setting up for Parshvottanasana, pyramid pose. Step out to the right and turn your toes like a short warrior 1 stance towards the back of your mat. Wide hips, so wide feet so the hips can square. Find a little back bend before you fold so that you're encouraging length in the spine. Nose towards the shin, not the knee, shin. Belly touches the thigh before the head. An option to stay here or play with balance. Bend your right knee, float the left leg up behind you into warrior 3, pressing the palms into each other on your back. And then inhale, draw the left knee up towards your chest, standing. Wrap the left thigh over the right thigh for eagle legs. An option to take the right arm under the left in front of you. Spread the fingers wide, press the palms together, and bring your thumbs in line with your brow. And then bring the hands back into reverse undulate. Lift the left thigh, press through the right big toe, and step back into Parsvottanasana stance. Inhale, open the chest, and then meeting the rest of us who have not balanced in Parsvottanasana, folding down. Release your jaw and the base of your skull. Inhale, little back bend to rise up. Exhale, pivot to face the front of your mat, left toes face forward. Shortened warrior one stance. Carry the back bend into your fold with the navel positioning over your left thigh bone. Forehead is seeking your left ankle. Nose is seeking your shin. Option to play with balance. Inhale, bend the left knee, lift the right heel, and float the right leg up. Lift the spine as the leg rises. Exhale, draw the right knee towards your chest, and then wrap it over the left thigh as high as it will go. Maybe the toes disappear behind the calf. And then the left arm under the right in eagle arms. Press the elbows away from the chest, forearms away from the face. Sit down as if you are in Utkatasana or chair pose. Bringing the hands back out and around into reverse prayer. Lift the front thigh. Step back into Parsvottanasana prep. And then fold over the legs. We all meet here. Steady your breathing. Inhale, rise up. Parallel the feet. Open the chest, and one more opportunity to bow in Sartapadattanasana variation. Press the thumb sides of the hands towards each other. Take the elbows wide. Notice what you value, the fold or the length of your spine. Explore the other option. And inhale, rise up. Release the hands. Stretch the arms out to the sides. And then just a moment of time here to play with any inversions that are part of your practice. I'm playing with a wider variation of Nirlamba Shirshasana here, which is a little shaky for me today, but that's just part of the practice. Okay, so the hands are behind my head. I can't see them in my periphery. Keep pressure through the thumbs. And I'm trying to lift from my hip creases. You could take another pause in handstand or forearm balance. When you're ready, open up the chest. You can simply interlace the fingers behind you, or you can take Ustrasana, camel pose, bringing the hands to the heels or the low back, hips over the knees, lift up, lean back, keeping the front of the ribs drawn down. So the back bend comes from the back of the body, rising and lengthening. Hop back out into Prasarita stance. Hands or forearms to the mat. Moving towards Samkhasana. Same angle. Walk the feet wide until you start to feel a stretch to the inner thighs. Keeping the corners of the feet firm to the mat. And then when you feel like, can't go anymore, you can either walk the feet back together, sit down and straddle the legs, or turn the toes up and just a graceful plop onto your bum. Lower the right forearm down inside the right thigh. And much like in that second variation of triangle, just opening up the side body here. Stretch the left arm up and over. Take the chin towards the left armpit. Gaze up at a spot on the ceiling. And enjoy that arch through the left side body. The reach of the left hand is towards the right foot, not that they need to touch. And inhale, rise up, ground your sitting bones, other side. Left forearm down, right arm up and over, wrapping the tricep towards the right ear. Chin towards the right armpit. Flexing the ankles, grounding the heels. Breathing into the right side body. Inhale, rise up. And then bringing the hands behind the knees, draw the legs together. Agni Shambhasana. Stack the left shin over the right shin. If this feels like it's too much on your knee, you can simply take Sukhasana, bringing the center of your left shin bone in front of the center of your right shin bone, feet under the respective knees. Keep the feet active. You can bring your hands to the soles of your feet to assure that they are, and then maintaining length through your upper body, you may choose to fold. Now this fold is subjective to the space that your body is telling you you have. This is an interplay between your consciousness and the sensations. Just notice. Where is that place where your body says, this is too far? Choose to listen to that today. Go back a little bit. Just a few breaths here. 9 to 10. Inhale elevates the upper body, moving towards Ardha Matsyendrasana. Left heel to the out, or right heel to the outside of the left seat. Left foot to the outside of the right knee. Lift the right arm up and then wrap the armpit around the outer left thigh. Left fingertips behind the body. Lift the chest, lift through the crown of the head, and breathe out to rotate subtly in and around the abdominal organs. Try to bring the belly to touch that top thigh. De-rotating. Inhale, open your chest. Take the right ribs back. And sitting up for Gomukhasana, bringing the left knee over the right knee. Heels close to the outer hips. Left arm reaches up, right arm down and up the back. Lift the inner right armpit up as if you were wrapping it over your shoulder. Get the elbows to move away from each other and the scapula to move into the back body. Not necessarily towards each other, just into the body so that they aren't winging out. Opportunity here, as always, is to study the flow of your breath, following it, witnessing it with your mind's eye. And releasing the shape. The same sequence on the other side. Right shin stacks over the left shin, preparing for Agni Stambhasana. Strong flex through the feet, or you can cross the center of your right shin in front of your left shin. So Agni Stambhasana or Sukhasana. Find a little back bend like we did in Parsvottanasana before you start to fold. And then as you fold, keep the sitting bones nestled into the floor. In total, there's about 9-10 breaths here. Inhale, we'll float the upper body up, and then moving towards Lord of the Fishes, Ardha Matsyendrasana on the other side. Right foot outside the left knee, left heel to the outer right hip. Lift the upper body, lift, lift, lift. And then rotate, nestling the armpit outside your right thigh. Right fingertips behind you as support. Avoid rocking back into your sitting bones, but stay elevated on the front rim. Your belly is pliable with your breath. Inhale, derotate, look the other direction, and then set up for Gomukhasana, stacking the right knee on top of the left knee, heels outside the outer hips, right arm up and behind the body, left arm down and up the back. And clasp the fingertips or just point the fingers at each other, and lift the front of the left armpit up and over that shoulder with your mind. Elbows draw away from each other. The head moves into the right forearm. Soften the space behind your brow, deep into the brain. And moving into bridge pose, which you may choose just to do the bridge pose. Gentle opening of the front body. Feet inner hips distance apart and parallel. Press hands down into the floor, arms down into the floor to lift the hips. Now if you're moving on, playing around with different variations, step your feet in so the heels move towards your seat. Bring the hands to the front of the ankles, and then let the knees fall together and towards the floor so that you're coming to the very tip top of your head, much like in Matsyasana or fish pose. You can hold the ankles or the shins, roll the front of the thighs towards each other, and stay there, or bring the fingertips or palms like you're setting up for wheel beside the ears. Walk the hands back a little bit, press down and back through the toes, down and back through the heels of the hands. Tap the head to the floor a couple of times, and then press through the toes, draw in through the navel to rise back up. Stacking the body. Ustrasana transition. You can just take camel pose here. You've been here before. Or you can move from camel pose, taking the arms out and back into Urdhva Dhanurasana or wheel pose. Takes a little leap of faith. Not a whole lot of instruction on this today, but if you'd like, we can do this in another video. This is just more of a playtime. Again, you can just play with Urdhva Dhanurasana or Setu Bandhasana wheel pose, or Ustrasana as your back bend. If you come to stand with me, we'll work with a drop back. Feet, outer hips distance apart, ground through the big toe knuckle, lift the front of the chest, draw the ribs down, reach back, little bend into the knees, and then let the fingertips come to the floor and wheel. Feet parallel, walk the feet back, drop the knees, drop the head, rise back up into your camel preparation, and sit back onto the heels. So it's just a round the world full variation. Now moving into Bharavajasana or your seated spinal twist, bring the left hand to the right knee, right heel under or on top of the left hip crease. Feet point towards the left as you rotate to the right. So open twist. Lift up, take your toes towards the right, left heel under the right thigh or on top of the hip crease, right hand to the left knee and rotate. Gentle twists like this are really lovely after a deeper back bend sequence. It's a gentle way of bringing the spine back to a little closer towards a neutral place without minimizing the effects of where you've been. Inhale will bring you back to face the center. And then stretch the legs out in front of you, setting up for Paschimottanasana. Okay. Ground through the heels, draw the skin of the thighs back. Lift up through the chest and then bow over the legs until the hands come to the floor or the outer edges of the feet. Remembering the element of back bending even in your forward folds. Broaden the ball mounds of the feet. You can use your hands to do so. If this feels like it's a strain in your low back, take a subtle bend into your knees so there's not such a pull in your hamstring attachments. Slide the belly towards the knees, the heart towards the shins, the forehead towards the ankles, and breathe deeply into the back of your body. Option to take a twist, bringing the left forearm outside the right shin, holding the outer edge of the right foot. Take the right arm up and back, rotate, bringing the left waist towards the right thigh, and then option to reach the right hand towards the left foot. Take the gaze up and under the right armpit. Take the right elbow away from the face. And then again, fold over the legs. You can cross your wrists. Just feels like a natural thing to do after the rotation. And then bring the right forearm outside the left shin. Hold the left foot with the right hand. Take the left arm up, back, and then over towards the right foot, rotating. Gaze under the left armpit. Breathe into your right waist. And then again, fold into Paschimottanasana. Again, option to wrap or cross the wrists. And inhale, long spine carries you up. Exhale, lie onto your back, drawing the knees into the body gently. If you need another twist, a supine twist is a great option here. Or you can draw the knees towards the armpits. Bring the arms inside the shins and wrap the hands around the outer edges of each foot. Happy baby, Ananda Balasana. A little rock side to side is good for your nervous system, relaxing to the nervous system. And then settle into stillness for a few breaths. This is a very grounding shape. One final hug with the knees together before extending the legs out into final rest, corpse pose, Shavasana. Feet hips distance apart, shoulders caress the back of the heart. Arms out at 30 to 45 degree angle. Resting the same knuckle on the right hand and the left hand on the floor. You can start with some supine pranayama here. Exercise 1, simply breathing in to expand the belly for 2 counts, the rib cage for 2 counts, and then the chest, collarbone area for 2 more counts. And exhaling for 6 counts from the top to the bottom of the belly. Again, inhaling 2 easy counts into the belly, a slight pause. 2 easy counts into the chest, a slight pause. And then 2 easy counts into the head, neck, and shoulders, a slight pause. And 6 easy counts out all the way to the base of the abdomen. 3 more rounds. Inhaling for 2 counts with pauses all the way up. Then exhaling 6 smooth counts down to the base of the belly. No tension, no holding the breath, just subtle pauses. When you have completed those rounds, reverse your practice. First, take a moment to observe, breathing naturally. And then inhale for 6 smooth counts from the base of your belly to the crown of your head. Exhale for 2 from the head, neck, and shoulders. Pause. Exhale for 2 from your chest. Pause. And exhale for 2 from your abdomen. Pause. And breathe in smooth and easily for 6. 5 full rounds with the pauses on the exhale now. No strain. After those rounds, just watch your breath a few times, coming in and out naturally. And then just let your awareness settle at the center of your heart. Letting everything soften and relax completely. beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering. May our thoughts, our words, our deeds contribute to that contentment. Namaste.